The most brilliant flavors always stay with you. So when I'm cooking, I have to capture them perfectly.
Miele's innovative kitchen appliances not only preserve freshness, but deliver consistently perfect cooking results.
Revealing the taste that nature created is the greatest gift in cooking.
Endless product combinations for outstanding kitchen designs.
Good afternoon. Welcome, bienvenue, and willkommen. My name is Kelly Lam. I'm the Vice President of Marketing here at Miele Canada. From our home to yours, we want to welcome you today. Many of you have continued to join us on Miele Live, where we've been able to bring to you information about products that you have in your home or products that you are actually interested in buying. Over the last several weeks, businesses have begun to reopen. Our Miele Experience Centers across the country are now open by appointment only. Be sure to visit miele.ca to book your appointment. We also continue to offer online and virtual services, whether you want a personal telephone consultation or you can actually participate in a one-on-one virtual sales consultation with one of our Miele product experts. In addition to that, today we're broadcasting and have viewers from across the country joining us. I want to send a very special welcome to customers who have been invited by some of our key retailer partners across the country. Here in Ontario, we have our partners at Tasco Gomans Appliances, as well as Appliance Canada. In the west coast of Canada, we have our great partners at Trail Appliances, Midland Appliances, Jerome Appliances, Avenue Appliances, as well as Baker Appliances. In the east side of Canada, we have Creative Appliances in Ottawa, as well as Almar Appliances in Montreal. All those businesses are beginning to reopen as well, and we encourage you to go on miele.ca, our retailer locator, to find the closest retailer to you, should you have questions or wish to buy products right now. As many of you know, we started a campaign over a month ago called #Miele Dines Local. And what this campaign is about is really trying to support some of the small local businesses and restaurants across the country who have been facing different challenges during these times. We put a challenge out to chefs and restaurateurs. Come and share with us your signature dish, and we'll invite you on to Miele Live here to either cook with us in person, if you're within the Toronto area, as we're filming out of our Miele Experience Center here in Toronto, or to cook with us virtually if you're in another part of the country. Today, we are so excited to be able to bring to you a restaurant nearby here in the GTA, Ginko Japanese Restaurant. And I'm so excited to have Chef Kimura here with us this afternoon. Hello, Chef, and welcome to Miele.
Thank you.
So excited to have you here with us. Many of you, by the way, are watching us on YouTube Live. This is a fully interactive live session. Be sure to, first of all, subscribe to the Miele YouTube channel. In addition, log in with your YouTube account and you'll be able to ask us questions live in the comment section. So Chef, again, so excited. Thank you for joining us. We have viewers from across the country watching us today. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about the restaurant, where you're located in Toronto right now.
Okay. Yes, Ginko Japanese Restaurant is open 1986 at 600 Dixon Road near the Toronto Pearson Airport. Now we are located in the Delta Hotel, 655 Dixon Road. And this is 36 years operation. I think one of the oldest restaurants in GTA.
And right now, Chef, obviously, as we all know, all the businesses have been impacted by what's going on around the world. Currently, what stage is your restaurant at? What's available to customers right now?
Right now, since mid-March, the coronavirus affecting our business. We opening the Friday lunch and dinner and also Saturday dinner, and Sunday is lunch. So only takeout and delivery. So no other business right now, hopefully opening soon.
Soon. And maybe we can talk a little bit, Chef, about the menu that's available right now for takeout and delivery. Is it very
have,
similar to the menu that you normally have?
Yes, we have a lot of sushi takeout, and also famous Japanese tempura or gyoza, edamame, all kinds of people who love the healthy food. Yes, available for lunch and dinner for weekend.
So even the hot dishes are
Yes, hot
available
dishes,
as
yes,
well.
and the cold dish and sushi, yes.
And what would be the easiest way right now for consumers to find out? So how would they place the order? What's the best way? And how do they get the latest information about your menu?
I think most information by website.
Okay.
Yes, website has a lot of information with the picture.
Okay.
So that information they order by internet too.
Okay, so they can actually order online,
Online
as
yes,
well?
Yes.
So the website is Ginko Japanese Restaurant.ca. That's Ginko Japanese Restaurant.ca, where they can actually look at your menu and also order
Yes.
as well. So very, very clearly the restaurant is very Japanese. It is a Japanese
It's
restaurant.
kind of the very traditional, but yes, that's how we brought up in a restaurant in Canada. So I don't want to mixing too much, but it's more like Canadian people more understand of the Japanese food very, very well. So they're asking more and more traditional dishes.
And Chef, what would you say are some of your most popular dishes when the restaurant was open? What are some of the most popular dishes that people come to the restaurant for?
We have a lot of different items on the menu, which means the sushi, of course, and also teppanyaki and the chef cook front view. And also we have today we're going to show you grilled fish, which is with miso basis. So that is very, very popular, and a lot of people repeating about the menu.
And I think, Chef, I know a lot of people, when they think Japanese restaurant, they obviously think sushi, but really, actually, the variety of also hot dishes within the Japanese culture are actually so big, beyond really just sushi.
Yes, we have, normally Japanese food is very working for the seasonal dishes, the spring, the summer, and the fall, and winter time. So we have a special menu for different seasons. Like a winter time, we have more cooking spot.
Right.
It's like a cook front of the customer.
Yeah.
It's very, very nice, warm.
Like a
And
nabe.
summertime, we have cold soba or udon. Those good for the weather.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think what I love about Japanese cuisine as well is that really the quality of the ingredients, and that's why I think seasonal, you mentioned,
I
is
think
so
the
important.
Japanese cooking based on respect the nature. This is very, very important. Respect the nature means we have to understand how nature is surviving, including saving the environment. So this kind of thing is very, without mixing up, I think a little difficult for cooking Japanese food.
So why don't we get started, Chef, on, we've asked you to share one of your signature dishes. I know you have many. So what are we actually going to be making today? And we can get started with that.
Yes, we have, today I have cod. Cod from Vancouver. It's called black cod. Very, very oily cod. And I have another cod from Iceland.
Okay.
So this, I want to cook with miso paste.
Okay.
And then how matching the beautiful harmony come.
And why, Chef, for this dish, you're choosing two different cod types?
Nothing many means because I received, I wasn't expecting the cod from
okay.
Iceland. I have another one. Okay, let's go. That's the happen, yes.
Would you say, because I'm looking at the two pieces of cod there, maybe you could actually show the camera those two different, because they actually look different in both texture and color. What maybe is the difference between the Vancouver cod as well as the Icelandic cod?
This cod is already frozen from BC, black cod.
Okay.
As we open and we defrosting, normally it's more whiter. I didn't have other fresh one. I just a little bit miso
Okay.
wash out
Okay.
and then put in here. And this one I just fresh caught and I got it today.
Okay.
And then see how different today in the cooking flavor.
Okay. And maybe what are the ingredients? Maybe so our viewers that are watching have an idea of what.
Yes,
What are you using today in the dish?
There's many different ingredients in different restaurants. We call Saikyo yaki. Saikyo yaki means based on a Kyoto type of the miso.
Okay.
But my miso is more different miso making together different flavor come. So I have one called shiro miso. This is from Shinshu, which means more center of the Japan. And this is the aka miso from Akita. This is come from northern part Pacific Ocean side. So I want to make a mix together with brown sugar and the sake and the light soy sauce and the meeting together and the cook with fry pan.
Okay.
And then after I'm gonna put it on the fish and then
Finish
open
in the
the
oven.
cooking. Yes.
So the miso obviously very, very different in color. How is the flavor differ between
It's
the two
normally
different misos?
this shiro miso is a sweeter miso.
Okay.
Sweeter miso is very more understand. And that restaurant using miso soup, this paste. And this, we got only Ginkgo has importing this aka miso from Akita. This is the aka miso sitting more longer and more stronger flavor.
Okay.
So sweeter, more stronger, how
They
trying
work
to
to-
balancing out. This is the I always using this way.
Okay. Good. So where would you like to start, Chef?
Can I start?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
Okay. So first of all, I want to have 1 tablespoon shiro miso. And same 1 tablespoon aka miso. And 1.5 brown sugar. And I have a light soy sauce. I don't never count, I just sort of touching anything. And then if you check it and if you, this is a meeting.
And Chef, for those viewers that may be not so familiar, what is mirin actually?
Meaning is sweet sake.
Sweet
It's
sake.
cooking sake.
Okay.
And there's another cooking sake I have going to use. So I have 5 ingredients together and the mix together. With
And actually, Chef, I forgot to ask you, there may be some viewers also maybe not so familiar. I think they know miso for miso soup and miso used in soup. But where does actually miso come from?
this is miso is Japanese using many different things, marinated fish or beef or pork, whatever it is, keeping food more long time.
Okay.
So ideally, is Japan is a lot of moisture, and the moisture has very molded as food. So people always how we keep the good fish for tomorrow.
So preservation.
Yes.
And miso is a bean paste.
Bean paste, yes.
Bean paste.
This miso is a very, very healthy bean paste. And yes, we're using many different things. So after a little bit mix it with medium heat and cooking miso together. Actually, this miso, you can use anything. It's like palm fried cooking. Mm-hmm. You can use miso paste. And anything you can use, pasta, same thing. And it's amazing harmony coming up.
And I would assume, like many things, there's better quality miso than not so good quality
Yeah,
miso.
you
How
have
do
to
How do you tell the
understand
difference?
understand the miso, many different things. You have a tons of book about the different area, different type miso, and then different ingredient miso, like miso from beans, miso from wheat, miso from rice, miso from whatever.
Okay.
So yes, in Canada, it's only certain items the available. But yeah, that's why I'm importing the miso from Akita right now.
Okay. And Akita is in which part of Japan?
Yes, northern part
Northern
of Japan, in the
Okay.
Pacific Ocean side,
Okay.
not Pacific, Japan Sea side, and a very, very cold country. And that's the area is a lot of good miso or sake and rice come from.
Okay. A bit more sake.
With the meat.
Yeah. And so while you're stirring that, we had a conversation earlier. So really, you've been in Canada for quite some time.
Yes.
This is not necessarily your first restaurant. Not to put you on the spot, but maybe talk a little bit about actually one of the first restaurants you had.
First restaurant I opened 1980 1978.
1978.
It's called Sasaya. It's Eglinton Avenue and Avenue Road area. I'm gonna put a little bit of ginger and the garlic.
Okay. So you're grating the garlic down as well? And so this restaurant really in 1978 was really well before the whole popularity and familiarity with.
Because the restaurant, we never have experience, and the partner doesn't have experience either. So he wants to learn a little more cooking in New York. And then we have friends has restaurant in New York, and it looks like a booming sushi in New York. We're not supposed to open sushi restaurant, but when they come, let's change it. For what? Change for sushi restaurant. What? Nobody knows the sushi. That's why we're gonna do it. And then he started back to New York again to learn the sushi, how to make it. And then we started the sushi when you open. It's like a crazy. People line up all down the street about waiting 2 hours to eat the sushi.
Wow.
And I didn't know what happened, why so many people come.
So people really already knew about sushi, were just really waiting for a restaurant to offer, because obviously at that time there weren't as many sushi restaurants, if any, in Toronto.
I think 5 Japanese restaurants that time. Wasn't many, and the most is the restaurant is like a local restaurant, like most Japanese people go there, and the very family type of the sushi. Nobody has very proper sushi.
Chef, we have an actual live question from a viewer right now. Mm-hmm. So Tenfu, thanks for joining us today on Miele Live. Our viewer has a question. There were 2 types of mirin added. What was the second type of mirin that you added?
Mirin?
Yeah, or was it actually sake?
We have tons of different mirin, but this is most cheapest mirin so far. It's mirin has more like sweeter ingredient when you're cooking. It makes a little more flavor from original stuff.
And so I guess they were asking, you used 2 different ones today? Or were they 2 different mirins today, or just one mirin and one?
Oh, that's a sake, right?
And one was a sake?
One's a sake. I didn't have a bottle. One's a sake.
Okay, so they thought it was 2 mirins. So
No.
Tenfu, so one was a mirin?
Yeah, one is a sake.
The other one was actually sake. So hopefully that answers your question there.
pretty good.
Looks pretty good. Thickened up nicely. The flavors seem to have melded together with the garlic and ginger. So I don't know if the camera can catch that, but maybe Chef, if you could hold that up to that camera a little bit just so that they can, but you see how everything has really come together really nicely. Chef, the other question I think
Yes.
we often get, because I think people think again Japanese food, sushi, but really at home, what would be a very traditional Japanese dish that you would actually eat at home?
I think a very simple way, like people don't know how to cook the fish. And if you have a raw fish, it's good for sushi. But if you can, a lot of fish like frozen, this cod is very popular.
Okay.
So if you have this kind of sauce, and just to put it on the salt and put the oven or pan fry, many different flavor and the beautiful way come up.
Okay.
So that's why I like this is either you can use for pan fried vegetable
Okay.
or some other item you can use even beef is fine.
So it's really versatile sauce that you could really use for different things. And so would you say at home one of your favorite things to eat is fish?
Yeah. Yes. I want to try taste it a little bit the yuzu today.
Yuzu.
Yuzu, I think people don't know about.
Maybe-
It's a nice flavor, nice smell.
And yuzu obviously has a very citrusy smell and flavor to it.
It's kind of the what they call the not. It's not orange. Not.
Yeah, it's really not an orange.
I don't think we don't have it in Canada.
And if people would want to buy yuzu,
I think they have a frozen yuzu.
okay,
Already. This is already frozen using the chopping already,
Okay.
and then I chopping with that and then mix together.
Chef, do you mind maybe just holding the yuzu up to the camera just so they can have a look at what the yuzu actually looks like a little bit? Because it does look like almost like a lemon.
Yes, lemon
skin,
and the skin,
rind.
and but the
Flavor is very floral.
Very very nice, strong.
Yeah.
So almost done this paste.
So again, eating fish at home, when you cook at home, is your favorite way to eat it like this, or is there a different way?
This is the part of it. This is the part of it that you can keep it many and keep it in the fridge, and when you need it, you put it on the fish
Okay.
and eat. But again, we using a lot of hot pot in the home. It's very very simple cooking.
So Chef, we have another question from April T. April, thanks for joining us today on Miele Live and with Chef here. I guess April may be planning to try to come to the restaurant soon, I guess when you're ready to reopen. But April has a question. Do you have a good sake selection at the restaurant?
I'm sorry.
Do you have a good selection of different sake at the restaurant when you are open?
Yes, we have how many? I don't know, maybe 20 items. The sake, different one.
Okay, so lots of sake, April, to choose from. So hopefully when, again, I would visit the website because I know things are changing right now in Ontario very quickly. So when the restaurant is open, Chef says they have a large selection of different sakes for you to try when you're at the restaurant.
It's great.
So April has another question, Chef. Is there any place that this recipe is available?
Yes. It's
It may be chef's secret, so he may not want to share the recipe.
I can show you. Nothing any secret, anything. You can buy some Saikyo miso from a Japanese grocery store or Chinese grocery store. Then you can just put it on the fish,
Okay.
and then cook it over.
as well.
Yes.
So, so April, we'll see if we later can convince chef to share a little bit of the recipe with us, and we'll be able to post that back to you in the comment section afterwards. So,
I need one more these one.
oh, we'll see if we can get one more pan coming for the fish. So, chef, you're putting that in the oven right now. What's the temperature that is going in at?
About 350 to the 5 minutes, 6 minutes. I have to check it out.
350.
Yeah.
Yeah, 350 degrees. I'll close that for you until you're ready.
I'm gonna put this one
Yep.
too.
So there's no oil in the pan at all, chef. It's just the fish and then the
Yes.
miso. paste
Either you
on.
can do pan fry too.
Okay. Now, because of the, there is sugar content, chef, correct, in this, obviously. So you have to be careful not to burn it, especially if you're pan frying it.
Yes.
Pan not too high.
That's why when you put the miso and always last minute,
Okay.
and then a little bit burn, and then halfway cook already done, and then put it on there.
So if our home viewers plan to pan fry it, how high heat would they use, and would they put the miso at the beginning or later?
Depend on how thick the fish, depend
Okay.
on how strong. But always when you're cooking is I cannot tell how much miso, how much heat. But if you have a cooking yourself, always food telling you, oh, you have
Tell
to have a
you what-
mistake anyway.
Yeah.
You have to tell, oh, it's about done, about the okay. It's very sometimes difficult for me how much you put the salt, how much.
I'm just going to help you actually. I'm just going to put a timer on for you,
Okay.
so that we
It's
keep
in-
track of that. So I think we said 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe 4 minutes now because it's. There we go.
Okay.
I'll set that on, and we're good to go. We'll just keep an eye on that going. So if again, if our viewers at home want to do a pan-fried version of this dish, do they put the miso paste on right at the beginning and pan-fry, or
No,
it goes later?
after cook, and then put the
Okay.
miso paste, and then a little bit maybe torch or something in the end, and then might be good idea.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. So while we're waiting for the fish to cook, chef, we had a conversation earlier. So I think keeping restaurants and keeping tradition going is very, very important. You are actually the president of the Japanese Restaurant Association of Canada. So JRAC, as I learned earlier. So what is this organization, and what is the main purpose of the organization?
Because we opened up the Japanese Association by 2004, because that time Ontario government they're making a new law for frozen fish roll. All fish, shellfish have to frozen before we use it.
Okay.
And then all restaurant chef, this is disgusting, and we against the government.
Okay.
And we have about.
So they said it has to be frozen.
Yes, that's
Okay.
trying to Ontario to by law.
Okay.
So that's the happen. No, this is not gonna. We against the government about. It was a very big story about that.
Okay.
And then we cannot deal in one by one, so we have to make association.
Okay.
So nobody wants to. So I don't want it either. So nobody wants to, I have to, and that's the happen. I starting it.
And starting it.
Yes.
And now the association has obviously been around for a longer time now. what is the role of the association?
We-
and
We actually doing there a lot of different activity with, we have a Japanese restaurant get together and called Washoku Matsuri, traditional Japanese food festival at the Japanese Culture Center. And every year we promoting the all best of the best fish by course dinner. About 300 people we invite, or
Okay.
they buy ticket,
Okay.
a $250 ticket. We foreign the book selling about 2 weeks right away.
Wow.
So that is part of the fundraising. We sometimes donation with some senior home, that kind of activity to keep up good condition, good Japanese traditional food in Toronto, Canada.
Okay.
That's the we associating all the time.
And you are currently the president of JRAC.
Nobody wants to, so I have to.
Well, that's very nice of you.
Thank you.
So, I think we were talking earlier as well. You really do have a passion for food, although your background is not necessarily coming as a professional chef. When you think about new dishes,
I never have learned from any professional, learn from anybody. All since I opened the restaurant, I'm very, very interesting about cooking. And normally I hired chef and then just let them cook. But it's, for me, my personal is how come I enjoy the when the cooking? This is doesn't matter how long I stand in the kitchen. I was very happy, I was very, and they always make together people serving and people, wow, people really happy about cooking. Oh, this is maybe, I like it. So
And-
that's happened, as more and more different menu item, different development menu, different ingredient. Always I fascinated about those things.
so I just want to make sure we don't forget about this. So I think maybe we have a quick look. Is that okay, chef? Coming?
I think it looks good. Huh?
Looks good.
Oh, need a little more?
A little more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We'll put that
Can
back
you
in.
do?
A little bit longer. So-
Maybe another 5-6 minutes.
Okay.
then.
So maybe let's talk about, because you were talking about you really come up with the dishes. What inspires you, and where do you get your ideas from for new dishes when you come up with new
Well-
menu items?
Normally my character, I don't want to throw anything. When you're restaurant, buy the fish, open fillet, bone. Normally open the fillet, and the fillet we can use many different things, and the bone we can use the lot of good meat beside the bone.
Right.
And then always use the spoon, squeezing,
To-
and then we can use other things. And then after cook, we're gonna a little bit slightly cook the bone. We can use the dashi. Dashi means Japanese basic flavor for miso soup, many different things. So it is something. Oh, maybe I can use this for leftover something, trying to make together,
Okay.
and always making matching together. That's the very, very amazing. I really enjoy about those things.
And so, what part of Japan do you come from?
I come from northern part of Japan, which is the Pacific Ocean side.
Okay.
It's called Miyagi.
Miyagi.
It's very, very, it's like a tsunami hit the direct. That's the area I come from.
Okay. And because really also, like many cultures in many countries around the world, food is very regional. So how would you describe northern Japanese food versus other parts of Japan? What are some of the characteristics? And
It's very, in Japan, a very small country and all ocean around. And, people is very scared going outside. And the people always developing something on village area and the old town area. And that they have on traditional miso, on traditional salt, traditional rice. Every city, every town has a little different item to, they're looking for something made fun.
yeah, and so in northern Japan, what would some of those things be? So what would be some of, I guess, more typical dishes that you would see in the northern part of Japan?
Northern part of Japan, because of the cold area and lots of snow, especially Japan seaside, it's about 6 months snow covering. So they have to know how to survive the snow, which means a lot of dry food
Okay.
and miso paste with marinade something. A lot of different, a little bit more salt northern part.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, I know another characteristics typically of, let's say, Asian cooking is, not so much use of dairy, things like butter and so forth. But in Japan as well, depending on the region, that changes a little
Well,
bit.
because of in Japan, the only ocean around, only fish available.
Right.
That's the only thing. I don't think they don't have much meat, anything.
Right.
Only meat I remember when I small is the whale's meat.
Whale's meat.
Yes.
Okay.
It's beautiful whale's meat. That's the only meat I had a long,
Okay.
long time.
Okay.
Never have any beef until certain area to go.
And then with the restaurant itself now, so obviously we've all come through some very difficult times with the restaurant. How do you see, will there be changes in the restaurant as you prepare also at some point to hopefully reopen fully to the public? What are some of the challenges right now?
It's a very, very unusual things come up and then people really shocking about it. But when I had this happen, we cannot open the restaurant. Number one, I thank me, it's good for me, good for me, good for me. Every night I train myself, but how good, I don't know. But and then find out, okay, what are we gonna look? So looking in the restaurant, okay, this is the time to look about the menu, about the kitchen, about the people, to how we can, reproduction, reorganizing, re-cleaning. That I spent almost 2-3 months
doing?
And once you find something around a little more clear, you can see a little more good menu, you can see a little organization, and you can see more different way we can make a development. That's I've been doing so far every day.
So I'm sure you're very excited to reopen soon, at least fully reopen.
I hope so.
Soon to some degree. So lastly, I think as we wait a couple more minutes for the fish, I also know, and for the home cooks out there, I think everybody loves sushi. But I think sometimes people forget one of the most important things about sushi is actually the rice itself, in the preparation of the rice. What tips would you maybe have for some of our viewers out there that obviously are doing more cooking at home during these times in the preparation of sushi rice?
Preparation for sushi rice?
Yeah.
It's very simple. And sushi rice normally short grain. And if you want the proper the sushi rice, I prefer when you wash it, sitting with water, same size of the cup, rice, same after wash, same size of the water, sitting in the one night in the fridge.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
that's
then
a good
next day
tip.
you start cooking.
Okay. So wash
Wash it
And then
sitting with one
the
night.
water.
Yeah.
with the water in the
And
fridge.
if you can have some kind of small kombu,
Kombu.
it's like a seaweed,
Yeah.
and then put it on inside and sitting one night,
Okay.
And then next day, put in the cooking.
Okay.
So that might be.
That's a
very
really good
interesting,
tip. Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for that. So we have a question for you, Chef, from Cindy Brandworth. So Cindy, thanks for watching. What rice do you use for specifically the sushi rice?
For sushi rice, we have a lot of different grading. We're using for koshihikari, or tamanishiki, or hikari. Those brand is very expensive, but it's very good rice from California.
Yeah. Which again, I think people sometimes forget that the rice itself is so important in preparation of
Yes,
sushi.
because the type of the rice put together with vinegar is too moisture, too hot, doesn't have a harmony with fish. So that's why rice most important for us
For sushi.
to making sushi.
Should we maybe check, because I think I smell it. I think it seems to be.
Looks good.
Looks good, smells good. Just going to close that for you, Chef. So again, normally in the restaurant, which type of cod would you actually serve, or is both?
We
of it-
have a BC
BC.
black cod.
Okay.
So this is the first time I did for Iceland cod.
And looks very nice.
Anybody want it?
We will definitely afterwards, for sure. That's fantastic. So really a very manageable dish for home cooks to really do at home if they want.
I think it's very simple. You have a couple of times mistake, that's fine. But enjoy the mistake, and then you can have more better cooking. Don't be so perfect from beginning.
And could you, Chef, also do this with other types of fish other than
Yes, you
cod?
can use many different fish. Either salmon, same thing.
Salmon as well. But cod really has that fat, oily, kind of buttery flavor that
Yes.
that goes well with miso typically.
Ai.
Chef,
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing some of your tips and tricks with us.
Thank you.
Also your experience. Thank you so much. Again, Ginko Japanese Restaurant, best place to go find out the latest information right now is on their website for the menu as well as to place your online order, and hopefully very soon Chef will be able to announce that they are open for you to actually go enjoy the restaurant. In the restaurant also, we also heard from Chef that they have a very, very large sake selection, so you can enjoy that with your meal as well. But certainly a dish to try at home. Chef, again, as you know, as part of this initiative, we are going to purchase 100 meals from you, and together with Ginko Restaurant, Miele will actually donate these restaurants, and we're donating these meals that we get from you to the William Osler Etobicoke General Hospital, and really want to take the opportunity to thank all the frontline workers across the country right now that are really, being very courageous in supporting all the communities across Canada right now that need the support, whether that's medical support, whether that's public transportations, grocery stores, and keeping everything going during these very challenging times. So again, Chef, thank you so much
ありがとうございました。
for joining
Thank you.
us today.
Thank you for watching, everybody.
Yeah, be sure to visit the restaurant, visit the website when you have a chance, support your local restaurants from across the country right now. I think everybody needs the support, and we will be sure to get through this. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel on Miele. to get the latest videos. We have some really exciting news coming out about a new product launch coming up. So be sure as well to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to get the latest information. And we look forward to seeing you in the coming weeks with some really exciting news and news content. So we wish everybody an amazing day. Try the recipe at home if you can, and we'll see you again next time.